really appreciate y'all coming back to the interview today. Today I am joined by Eli downtown in Austin, Texas. Eli was a little bit parched, so we got him some water, and we're just exploring ideas this week in thankfulness and education and mindfulness in that background that we all might have or not have. And so with that in mind, please introduce yourself, Eli.
Hi, you might know me as that Wonder Pokemon themed streamer. Pink Panther is all I want to say.
Super cool.
Pokemon Unite, fairy type main. In most D&D roleplay online, I go by Perseum, although I have a couple alt names, so if you want to catch stream, who is in character Perseum, and if it loads the file, I'm online.
Awesome.
So good.
Well, great. Thank you for introducing yourself. And
let me give a little tee-hee on that nickname. Yeah. It's such a sexually themed description. The main guy of the server sexed me in character.
Okay. Let's leave it at that. That's probably that's a little bit TMI. You know what I'm saying? Too much information, but I appreciate the context there. Eli, your value,
my value is actually in that I was able to convince all immortal evil role players to ally in war against me. So I can farm their character and give them a rebirth as a good character.
For sure.
Its Crusader has Martyr at 1%, and if I naturally caster merit, improve that too under the lunar sign. There might be some significant roleplay achievements in start to finish. Crusader is the ghost cleric goddess this year, and I'll be playing that all year, so please don't step on my toes while I learn the female voice again.
Okay, sweet. Thank you so much for your perspectives and intro there. Let's jump straight into the interview. The first question I have for you is, what are some things that you're grateful for in your educational upbringing and background?
Well, beyond getting a lollipop for every book I could successfully decode and problem answers, so I was stacked with candy bags. I took 400 tests day one in grade 1. So my reader level was you are somewhere around 12.5. Let's put a portable in for you for the other kids of your grade. Yeah. And they were all the same age girls. Oh, really?
So just that,
that year I was the smartest boy.
Oh, super cool. So you just that background and, getting put in a portable in the first grade was big for you.
And from there to education. No, that was, guys, this is 31 years ago. Yeah. When I was year 1. And my sister came out 2 years later reading Shakespeare from my dad, because my dad's over 400. And he got my mom pregnant 400 years later, and then and then he got his balls snipped, just out of a tee-hee. I have a son now.
Interesting. So I guess I really appreciate your insight on that. And then the second question I have for you is, what are some ways that you practice mindfulness and mental health and educational
therapy and stuff like that? I learned to be successfully a massage therapist through my wife's classings on bad massage therapy.
Super cool. So how do you practice
I learned
mindfulness? Healing hands, yeah. So
she would have gotten cancer again and again and again. I picked out the cancer from her skin. I massaged her skin in the shower with soap and helped her smell it. Okay. And cooked it and threw it out, and the cat ate it and shit like that.
Interesting.
Back talking like us, and we're there is magic to God that you could teach something out of your perceived sign deficiency of skin.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So I guess your insight there is huge. Just being able to learn from someone else about a certain skill, that's how you practice mindfulness.
For me, started at age 1 with my dad in a photographic camera of Kodak, and then at age 2 with his little brother in a photographic camera of Kodak. School for me has always been Kodak.
Cool.
National Geographic.
Awesome. So just pictures, magazines.
Yeah.
Literature.
Picture books. Literature. Picture books.
Yeah, you were walking to the library. I thought that was huge. The Austin Public Library is a great resource for people looking for mental health
George awareness. R. Martin had a curse book of like stuff decoded as artifacts in his book Game of Thrones, and I flipped to the chapter I wanted to rewrite a nun curse on, and I got a red ruby crystal next log on D&D. I got a red ruby crystal amethyst, which matches with the gem that I made that can only be fitted inside this unpaired Ioun stone. It's not a necklace, but it goes in the necklace slot.
Right. Interesting. Well,
And the other one was a stacking HP Ioun stone. As you level up, it adds permanent HP. So as I bless it, it's going to get double or triple or 8th level HP, I think, per level up with a bless and an enchant armor scroll. When I find where to farm those,
Yeah.
I have enchant weapon scrolls, and this time, if Perseum gets caught with her pants down with the Black Crescent longsword, but I know exactly where to find the enchant weapon scrolls now.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say that
I can improve enchant weapon and get her int and whiz up to 100 at the same time.
So would you think would you say it's a fair perspective and idea to entertain that you appreciate the education that comes from your gaming background?
To learn how to add stuff to a scroll book, I think was the first thing my uncle taught me.
Okay. So are you appreciative of that?
More so though, not more so than yes, I am, but
You
if
are,
I can
yeah.
conclude in more respect to my dad who's still living, who picked
Yeah.
up the slack after my uncle's. I don't think it was a suicide. I think it was a samurai evil attack.
Okay.
So I would like to pursue samurai in next roleplay.
Okay. Awesome, man.
And I looked up the best, and I believe my actual race is, and best thing for me to roleplay would be half-elf samurai female.
Okay, awesome.
Just to get the gender bend on it, so I could Ranma one half if
The
need.
gender bend.
You know
That's a
what
term I
Ranma-
haven't heard of.
Oh, it's a.
But I understand it. Anyway, I just want to say, Eli, we are getting to around 7.5 minutes. That's kind of longer than I do traditionally do the interviews.